RTD Live Talk, Detroit's #1 late night YouTube talk show. We are live for a Monday night edition, the first live stream of 2022. Excited to be back. Looking forward to connecting and find out what's on your radar. So, I feel like it's been a minute since I've been behind for a late night live stream, but looking forward to connecting and find out what's on your radar. Lots of things worth touching on, trying to navigate these waters moving forward into this year. Excited about a lot of things, a lot of good things in the works. But other than that, my name is Mike, the host of Detroit's #1 late night YouTube talk show. Looking forward to hearing from you guys. As always, any first-time viewers, let me know where you're watching from. We'll love to acknowledge your presence via the chat, so feel free to let me know where you're watching from. And then when the phone lines open up, 313-462-0027 is the number to call and let your voice be heard. All right. So let me jump in, man. I'll acknowledge a couple people in the chat. Got about 2, 6, 7, 8 articles worth touching on. Just some things that caught my attention the very first Monday of the new year. And then I want to open the phone lines to find out what you guys have been keeping an eye on. Of course, there's more stories, more subjects that we can touch on in one live stream. But we'll do the best we can to cover as many as possible. All righty. So let me see. We got Nicholas in the building. We have Funny Colors checking in. We have over here. Says, I've never dreaded a new year like I am 2022. Good luck to us all. Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with perception and perspective. Like outside of the stuff that's being orchestrated around us, there's still things that we have control over, which is how we view things. So not everything that is being done by the orchestrator of this experience, it will actually turn out to be as bad as they want it to be. Because a lot of this creates opportunity as well. So a lot of it's based upon your perspective. So let's try to frame our viewpoint on the things that's happening ahead of us as opportunities. So as best we can. Anyway, DC Precise checking in. We got Lightning for Thee. We got Timo. We got George. We got Mass Administrator. We got the Pothead checking in. Funny Colors, Timo. See a lot of thoughts out there. Okay, Gene. Nobody special finance. How you doing, my friend? We got Ed checking in. We got Paul. We got Nick. All right, we got a fair amount of people here. Appreciate you for blessing me with your time and your presence. Let's jump right in, man. So I was thinking about, 2022, and especially from a little short I did, I think it was yesterday, talking about the Economist cover and where we're at and how everything, in my opinion, is somewhat timely precise in regards to the way that they want to roll stuff out and in the format they want to do it. And as I always say, they want more destruction and just desperation amongst the populace so that they can come in with these so-called answers, which is, of course, is quite obvious where they want to take us. It has everything to do with this little instrument right here. Whether it's good or bad, whether you're for or against, it doesn't matter. It's here. It's not going anywhere. But a lot of it has to do with just conditioning us to accept things that are coming our way based upon the fact that there's nothing we can do about it. Like, the digital asset space, whether you participate or not, your personal involvement doesn't really negate the fact that it's already here. All the big institutions are already sown the seeds as far as investing in it, the infrastructure of it, the mining of it, the ESG, all that stuff that they've come up with how to govern and oversee this new asset class. So it's here. Now it's a matter of how do they try to work out the kinks as far as the regulation, on top of them needing to come up with some type of foundation for the stablecoin aspect, and then also the preparation for the CBDC stuff. But yet all that is geared upon where the Economist covers told us in 1988 where we would be at, and that's fiat currencies in flames, fiat currencies burning. And so in my estimation, this year we will see more fiat currencies going up in flames, and that's all predicated on the real world inflation numbers that people actually experience in their day-to-day lives in comparison to the fraudulent numbers they're going to give us with those fake CPI and PCE numbers that could pale in comparison to what we're actually spending out of our pockets on the ground here. But I want to just jump into a couple articles, kind of lay my case for that, get your thoughts on it. And then, of course, we know the kryptonite or the antidote for the bankers' demonic plan of taking us solely digital, of course, happens to be real tangible things. And, of course, that's why more nations have been getting their weight up like never before, because they know what's going on, because they're also participating in it. So Just let me jump in real quick. I want to share this visual aid here. So this is something I grabbed from the Economist Twitter page that somebody posted, which I thought was very interesting because it lays out some interesting numbers in between. And I'm not one of the people that dive into the what's it called, the reading numbers and astrology and all that other type of stuff. But it's just interesting how the person put all this together. Talking about 33 years ago, 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days. We are told to get ready for a world currency, and then here we are today, or as of May 8th last year, them coming out with the concept of gov coins. And then as of September 18th, 2021, the Economist cover talking about down the rabbit hole, and it's entitled The Promise and the Perils of the Decentralized Finance. And of course, you see all these we got the dollar, like a dollar coin, we got Ethereum, we got Bitcoin, and all these other coins jumping down a hole. And just seeing these three covers here over a 33-year span here, to me, this is the ultimate playbook that has been in the works since day one. And so what bothers me the most is how a small port, I would say a growing population out here really thinks that the Bitcoin, XRP, all those projects that are in play right now are designed to free people. When you look at the Economist covers for the last 33 years, they foretold what we should expect. So it just bothers me that the people who are preaching the digital asset space, they're not, I guess, being more upfront and honest and willing to mention that this is a part of a greater script. Whether they're playing a part, whether they're part of it or not, I don't know. I let them do what they do out here. But if you're going to dip and dabble in it, make sure you have, as I said in a couple of videos past, have some national currency insurance. Like actually take out a policy on your fiat currency as it's going up in flames, to make sure you got something steady in the form of real, sound, precious metals. And then, do whatever you do on top of that. But make sure you get your weight up first. And that's what bothers me the most, because people are not being told the full story. They're just saying the transition is happening. And of course, you got Michael Saylor here preaching the importance of, melting ice cubes and, taking this company's balance sheet and putting it solely in Bitcoin. Okay, fine. The average Joe don't really have that type of funds to put to use like that. So you can go get you an ounce of silver. You can get you an ounce of gold, I'm sure. And then whatever you do on top of that, do what you do. But anyway, 2022 will be the year of fiat going up in flames, and expect more nations to have issues as we're moving into this new year, because everything's predicated on whether or not the Federal Reserve will be able to begin liftoff or dialing back on their accommodative policies. And of course, it's going to be a ripple effect throughout all the financial markets across the world. So it's just something I want you guys to continue to be reminded of. And for those that love sharing information with family and friends, put this out there, give them something to chew on, because we are in the midst of the exact time frame they want us to be in. So, and of course, whenever there's a precious metal slam, you definitely got to go get your weight up. And so today, starting off Monday, went from 23.29 to 22.79. That's a buying opportunity like never before. So I appreciate the manipulation. I've made it my friend, and I am not mad whatsoever. And to piggyback even more, I would not be mad if these prices remained pretty much throughout the rest of this year, because it just gives me more time to accumulate, knowing that at some point when the game is up, these prices will not be able to stay down this low. Anyway, I'm rambling too much. Let me go through a couple more articles here, and then I'll open up the phone lines. I would love to hear your thoughts. I want to try to get more calls in. So I see a super chat out here. Let me acknowledge this person here. Thank you for being a blessing. Let me see what we got here. Patrick, appreciate you, buddy. It says cyber attack on the SWIFT system will be the scapegoat for the market crash probably next year. It says we'll force the government to bring CBDC and the UBI, since 401ks will be wiped out and all you can do is watch. Wow, Patrick. No sugarcoating right there, man. That's an entire script right there. So cyber attack, the framework has been laid for that. They've already had 2 exercises. No exercises are going to be used or not going to go to waste. So the third one might be the real one. At what point, who knows? I think it might come at a point where because it looks like from the mainstream narrative, they mean the orchestrator, they're losing control of the script, of the ability to continue to pump fear. A lot of people are waking up to realize how fraudulent all this health stuff is, especially when you got Joe Rogan out here, promoting new websites, and you got the Trump website, or social media place, which is supposed to drop sometime soon. We'll see what happens with that. But more people are waking up and questioning things. So I can see them pulling the plug in the form of a cyber attack event if they lose control of this narrative, probably even sooner than that. But whether it be on a Swift system, I'd imagine it being. I'm looking at Wells Fargo. And it's just my personal opinion. I think Wells Fargo would be the perfect scapegoat, just because they've been a very problematic, too big to fail bank over the last several years, with all the fraudulent accounts they've been setting up and all the, just the stuff that I think they're expendable. So, of course, the last banks that will remain is JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs, because they're fighting it out for supremacy to see who controls the, I guess, whatever's left of the commercial banking sector. But I do agree, as a result of that, CBDCs will be rolled out. All forms of financial instruments that people think they own, they're going to find out, or they're going to have a rude awakening, realizing that all those things that are in the possession of other individuals on their ledger, it's not going to be there the way that you think it will be. So it's unfortunate, but I appreciate you, my man. Thanks for sharing your thoughts. And so it's good to see a lot of people here have that same mindset, knowing that something's brewing. It's just a matter of when. And before you get to that point, can you shore up enough of the resources you need to sustain yourself for however long a period of time, both, financial preservation wise in the form of metals, and of course, all your resources, your water, your food, everything like that, because, who knows where we're heading into, but it's drawing near. Okay. A couple more articles here, and then we'll start ranting, open the phone lines, and we can talk some more. So this is what I want to piggyback on as well. These are just the fictitious numbers they give us about the inflation rate. And as we can see here, over the last several months here, every nation, for the most part, has been ticking upward primarily with inflation. And we are just in the beginning phases before there's some type of event of some kind. We got Elon Musk calling for a recession. We'll see how that plays out. But then there's a lot of desperation and pain right now amongst the populace. So here's an article here says, Americans will be forced to draw down their savings in 2022. So this has to do with the fact if all the accommodations completely cease, tax credits stop, if there's no more, direct payments given to the populace, then there's going to be an issue there, because, mind you, we're a consumption-based nation. So if people aren't consuming, then we're going to have some problems. And it's only so much you can do with your credit cards before those things, you max those out and they're not allowed to get any more. So it's going to be a lot of pain. This is a perfect setup for that, where people are losing confidence because they're going to have to spend more. There's another article here that says nearly half of the 18 to 34-year-olds feel like they are drowning in debt. So this is what's going on. It says 10 things that will be more expensive in 2022. And I think 10 is just a very low ball figure, but it says the cost of clothes, groceries, furniture, other goods are rising this year ahead, yada, yada, yada. But it's going to be a lot more things than 10. But it says housing, food, we got clothing. What else we got here? We got heating costs, we got gas, dining out, cars, especially used cars, computers, electronics, furniture, medical care. Those are just a couple of the things. At the same time, we got billionaires out here screaming from the top of the mountains talking about a recession. And there's another article out here of Bitcoin it says billionaires are concerned with, burning currencies. So they're suggesting to go to Bitcoin. So we got more billionaires screaming Bitcoin nowadays rather than, talk about gold and silver. They can't do that. That's a no. But anyway, whether it be summer of 2022, but no later than 2023. So that's why Elon Musk pulled out, I think, 16 billion to so far in the last couple months of things that trying to get out and get a little liquid. So here's some of the things stemming from a tweet he put out there a while ago. Keep it moving. And then, of course, Turkey is making more news. Inflation soars to 36%, highest in Erdogan era. So if this isn't approaching hyperinflation, I'm not sure what is, but this is a leading candidate for a currency that is completely going up in flames right now, as far as losing extreme purchasing power. Then here's another article here. We got a nation that's preserving and protecting themselves. It says Russia's gold and forex reserve hit record high amid intense 2021. So outside of all the bullying that the Western nations are doing towards Russia in regards to the whole Ukraine debacle, looks like Putin knows where he's putting his confidence in the form of gold. So we'll see what that's all about. But if nations are doing it, then you might want to join suit. And then here's something I found to be interesting. It says bank accidentally deposits 176 million into people's accounts on Christmas Day. And so imagine a lot of people woke up seeing a lot more digits in their account than they expected. How many people actually went out there and thought it was a blessing in disguise and actually decided to spend some of those funds? And so it says the mistake happened when payments of 2,000 business accounts were processed twice. The bank said the duplicate payments were caused by a scheduling issue that had not been rectified. So a lot of extra currency out there in people's accounts. I wonder how they're going to respond. I bet you a few people probably bought Bitcoin and all those other things. Not many probably bought any precious metals. And the rest of the people probably went out and bought some type of item of some kind. But anyway, let's talk. Let me open the phone lines. I want to hear from you guys directly. What's on your radar? Let's talk. Lots of things worth touching on. And I have missed a couple calls. Forgive me, but I want to try to get as many calls as we can. I'm trying to shorten up the streaming format, probably go a little bit about 30 minutes or so. So let's try to get as many calls as we can in. And or in the chat, just highlight at Rethinking a Dollar to stand out. And I'll try to share my 2 cents on it. And we can go from there. But let's get a call in real quick. Let me get this one. Hello, caller. Where are you calling from?
This is Pat from Alabama. How you doing, Mike?
Pat, I'm doing good, my friend. Happy New Year to you. What's on your mind tonight?
Happy New Year to you. First off, I got the captain locked up in the cabinet, by God.
Oh, man, you locked the captain up. I ain't mad at you, though. Congratulations. Way to start off by locking captain up for the start of the year.
Yeah. I wouldn't visit him as often, but that won't last long.
What's going on with you? What's going on with you, man?
Say that the devil is doing his work, my man. We are all running around scared to death of the flu, feeling like we've got to have a genome affecting shot.
Yeah.
And multiple, God knows why. And listen, all I want to say is everything's going to be all right, brother.
Oh, 100%.
Everything's going to be all right. Number one, we're finding out the fools. And by the way, I'd like to say from Solomon, you beat a fool if you don't talk with him.
Hey, man, I appreciate you, man. And so just as a little
but
reminder.
I'm not going to be cut off yet now.
Huh?
I want to tell you that you're going to have a good year from January all the way through about April or March.
April or March.
And
so what are you anticipating in April or
March? It's going to start turning rough. But you're going to do cool. And I wish you'd tell the people how to save themselves, buy silver, invest in metals. It's been a money for 5,000 years, for good God. And that there is but one God, and his name is God.
I can ride with that, man. Hey, Pat, man, appreciate you, man. You get a couple more calls. Thanks for calling in.
Yep, fine. Bye.
Be good. Yeah, good stuff, man. Good to hear from Pat. He got the captain locked up. That's the first. So keep it going, man. I see Tony B talk about sobriety 30 days or something like that. Speaking of which, just more fear tactics out here. They couldn't help but throw this together. Israel reports the world's first flu Rona. You mix the flu and the Rona together, you get the flu Rona. You can't make this stuff up, boy. I tell you. Anyway, let's talk. Give me a call. Phone lines are open. Want to hear from you guys. And what else we got going on? Hope everyone's doing well. Hope you had a great holiday / Christmas, New Year time frame for everybody. Let me see here. I see a lot of thoughts. Silver and gold own some as well. Yeah, that's to me. Now, once again, it's just my personal opinion based upon me trying to understand the historical aspects of monetary policy forever. But, gold and silver, of course, it should be the anchor. to anything that we build upon in a financial standpoint, because
hey,
it's
Mike.
real. Hello, Carlos. Where we calling from?
Hey, Mike. This is Richard from North Atlanta. How are you?
Rich, I'm doing good, my friend. Happy New Year to you. What's on your mind tonight?
Well, Happy New Year's to you. I wanted to play a what-if game.
Okay, give it to me quick if you don't mind.
Sure. If you were our benevolent leader, and let's say 50 or 100 years ago, we had a rule that if you would subsidize, say, somebody like Tesla needed some help with the money, we'd say, well, sure, we'll loan you some money, but you have to come in agreement with everybody that works with you that until we're paid back, you can't vote. You can't vote in an election. Now, if you're General Motors, or if you're a big bank, or if it's a welfare person, fine, we'll help you, but we don't want you to be hooked on the money. We want you to learn to take care of yourself. So once you pay us back, you can vote. It's your choice. Now, you're the leader. What would you think about an idea like that 50 or 100 years ago? Where would we be today?
So it kind of sounds like you gave the people an option and a choice to, I guess it sounds like, to put them in a better position other than being dependent upon a government, or are you being are you flipping on a upside down? How did you play in that one?
Well, you would just say, listen, you need help, and we have money to help you, but you have to pay us back. And until you do, you're not allowed to go into an election and vote. You have to wait until you're solvent.
So yeah, so that wouldn't work, because they give out funds to buy votes. So
that's true.
The idea of paying us back, we don't want the funds, because we can continue to create those things. So we want your support. So we want to make you addicted to government support. So
remember, I said 50 to 100 years ago before we got into this mess.
Yeah.
and you're our loving leader going, yes, well, we can help you, but we want you to wean off this addiction to free money.
Oh, yeah.
So you'll have to give me something. You'll have to give up your vote, and you can have your vote back when you pay me back.
Yeah, good luck with that. That's not happening, because the government rather give out fishes than teach you how to fish. So
you're absolutely right. But wouldn't it have been a great idea if our forefathers said, "Hey, no, listen, you can have money," and then people would say, "Oh, well, I can't vote myself more money if I can't vote, right?"
Right. Good point, man. Hey, appreciate your call, my friend.
Well, you have a happy New Year, and I enjoy your show, and hang in there with Mario. Y'all are a great team.
Appreciate you, my friend. Thanks for calling in.
Bye.
Hello, Carlos. Where we calling from? Hello.
Hi there.
Hi there. How you doing? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Me, I'm calling from Idaho.
From Idaho. What's going on, my friend? What's your name, if you don't mind?
My name's Ed.
Ed, what's going on in Idaho, Ed?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I live in rural Idaho. We've been left alone by all the rules and crazy regulations.
Yeah.
I love your work.
Appreciate
I love your advice. Get your weight up.
Oh, yeah.
It actually moved me to start a silver business in August 2020.
Okay.
So I'm helping other people get their weight up as well.
Good deal. Good deal. Are you creating videos or anything like that, or how you go about promoting your services?
Rob Keynes on Gold Silver Pros is promoting me. I'm one of his approved metal suppliers.
Okay.
We're doing some great deals.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, keep doing what you're doing, man. The more people out there promoting sound money, the better. So we gonna need it this year, because this year Fiat gonna go up in flames for real. But what else is on your mind tonight, my friend?
Yeah, just again, I just want to say I'm encouraged by the amount of good people I've met.
For sure.
Just developing the business, the quality of people, the integrity, making some great friends. There's a lot of good people out there. So I'm just encouraged.
Hey, I agree, man. Well, sounds good to me, man. Continue to do what you do, preach the good news of getting your weight up. And thanks for calling in, my friend.
No problem. Thank you, Mike.
You good. Hello, Carlos. Where are you calling from? No, maybe not. Maybe missed a couple calls there. Yeah, for those that are tuning in, feel free to give me a call. Let's talk. What's on your mind? I'm curious. We'd love to get a chance to meet you.
Where are you calling from? Hi, Mike.
Hello, how you doing? What's your name?
This is Funny Callers.
Hey there, Funny Caller. What's going on with you?
Mission View, California.
What's going on with you, my friend?
So, I'm not trying to take too long. So, like, sharing a story. So, I buy Bitcoin through coinme.com.
Okay.
That's how I got into that. And so earlier this year, I just destroyed my iPhone. I was pissed off, and then so then I got a trap phone. So then I had to change the number to my trap phone. But then I got my iPhone back.
Yeah.
So when I was messaging because they want the ID and the passport and all that.
Yeah.
So I did that, and I had to take a picture with my voucher. And then this is went on back and forth, and I'm talking to her name was Sandra W. And then what was I going to say? They say this is an agent, or one of our agents is going to get back to you.
Yeah.
So, so she would always be like, okay, like, hold on a moment, let me look into this, whenever, like, and it turns out I was talking to a bot.
You said a bot?
Right. A bot.
Yeah.
I got pissed.
Yes.
No, I got pissed off. I said, I want, I was like, this is too much. I kind of stuck up for myself, right? I just said, well, this is like too much of a hassle. I want, and the moment I said I want a refund, they deleted my account, So, hey, just want to share that with you guys.
Well, hey, appreciate you, man, for calling. It sounds like you learned a lesson. Hopefully it wasn't an expensive lesson. And from there, you've taken matters into your own hands and realized that, if it's not, let's say, not your keys, not your coins is the motto that's used in that community there. But hey, I appreciate you calling, man. And don't forget, outside of dipping and dabbling, make sure you got your weight up. That's probably that should be your primary, in my opinion. So, but wish you the best, my friend.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Appreciate you.
All right.
Yep.
Have a good night. Goodbye.
Yeah, so apologize for the sound. I hit the button with my hand, so forgive me. Anyway, let's talk. Give me a call. We'll take a couple more calls, and we're going to dial back. So I'm trying to keep these sessions relatively shorter so we can try to get more calls in. Hello, caller. Where are we calling from?
Hey, Mike, Al from New Orleans. First, I want to preface this with I'm sober.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm your first sober caller here of the evening.
Okay.
Listen, I'm going to be real short with this. I've noticed since the cutback on all the stimulus, the unemployment, and now the newest thing, and this is just in my area. Maybe the other viewers can chime in on this. Since as these funds have been cut off from the average guy and gal, I've noticed a spike in crime. Now, the most recent one here is EBT. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's basically it's welfare, but on a credit card.
Yeah.
That's what they call it down here. So that's the new thing that just got cut off down here. And I've noticed in series every time, so the stimulus went away, then they yanked the unemployment away. Then the child tax credit thing kind of is up in the air. Maybe they're not going to last as long as it did. And now the EBT thing is going away. But each time one of these systems, one of those programs, go away, crime really spikes. It is insane down here, brother.
Yeah.
It's 3 years into the 3 days into the new year.
Yeah.
And we've had 4 murders and I think 7 carjackings. I'm just talking about New Orleans, just a little tiny population down there. It's a small city.
Yeah.
It's insane. We're gonna break records again this year for crime. I'm gonna let you go.
Appreciate
Maybe
you.
other people can
Yeah,
chime in on that. Happy New Year.
Same to you, man.
Be healthy and later, brother.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Okay, so that's a whole other angle as well. The food assistance, that's a serious program. I think that's like 30 million or so people. I'm sure it's probably gone up since then, are dependent upon, the monthly food allocation from the government. you cut that off, or I imagine it's gonna be certain pockets throughout the country where they're gonna start putting stipulations on it. You won't be able to get it unless you provide proof that you participated. So yeah, that's a whole other avenue there. But thanks for keeping us informed. Hello, caller. Where are you calling from?
Mike, Tony from Oakland. One more again.
TB, a new year, right on time. How you doing, man?
Yes, sir. I'm doing good, man. I am going to be your contrarian for the year. How's that?
Hey, I appreciate you. Go ahead and give me what you got.
I think we are giving the Fed and our government too much credit.
Mm-hmm.
I think if we just sit back and look at what they're doing, if you had an idea back in '88 what's going to happen in 2020 or 2018 or whenever,
2018-ish, yeah,
you would have implemented all those things that would have took in order to get this thing through. But you still talking about it as potential.
No, watch this though. But because they're talking about turning the world upside down, literally, by exposing to the world that all the paper and digits in a bank account never really belong to them. But we're going to reduce that and just give you solely digits that come from a new source other than your bank that you can go down to and swipe a card. So to do all that at once would not fly. You know what I'm saying? So
what is the dollar?
Huh?
What is the dollar?
As of now, it's predominantly digital blips on a screen that commercial banks create when people take out a loan, represented by paper notes called Federal Reserve notes. And that's majority of what we think of it as, the majority of people anyway.
It's not even Federal Reserve note. It's just paper. It's just blips on the screen.
Okay, but you look at when you go down to withdraw some of those blips on the screen, when they come out the machine, they say Federal Reserve note on top. And
no. What's happening is the federal government is transferring digits to the bank.
Mm-hmm.
The bank is selling it back to the Fed in reverse repo.
Okay,
that's what's happening here, and everybody thinks that they're printing money and giving it out. They aren't giving it out; they're just printing it, and the banks are returning it for a small fee. That's why they keep thinking the money supply is going up, and it's not going up. The only way the money supply goes up is if the banks start loaning. Correct. If you look at how much the banks loan, they aren't loaning anything to anybody. They aren't even loaning to each other.
Correct.
And if they've got to loan the money, they'll go into euro dollar market to get the money. The U.S. system is so bad. It's so messed up that nobody wants to borrow money from the U.S. And if you are an American citizen and you go some other country, your tax dollars follow you. You have to pay back taxes in the U.S.
Right? There's no getting away from it.
No getting away from it. That's how bad the U.S. is. So other countries are like, well, we got to figure out another way.
Yeah.
And I don't blame China. I don't blame Russia. We got to figure out another way because the dollar is actually killing us. And it's deflationary because what's going to happen is the dollar's going to go rising, and then ain't nobody going to use it. Because the dollar rising is cheaper money for their currency cheaper, other countries' currency cheaper.
Right. But it makes life that much harder here because everything will become more expensive as far as us trying to export our goods and services because if they got to trade their weaker currencies for stronger dollars, that's gonna put a pinch on them as well.
They ain't gonna want to do it.
Right.
They ain't gonna want to do it. But we need their product though. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna raise our food prices. And your last caller was correct. All the EBT cards are done. December was the last. There is no more money coming from anywhere until the government can figure out how they can get money into the system. So keep your eye open on that. Because they're going to have to figure out a way of getting trillions of dollars into this system, not to millions, trillions of dollars into this system, in order for it not to deflate, not inflate, deflate.
Correct. Because it's going to control. Oh man, so the SNAP side of things. So I got a little article here talking about the SNAP cash. So that's a whole other angle that that's something worth touching on. So. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. And, of course, anybody come across more information in their neck of the woods to shine some light on it, feel free to keep us informed. So
I'm going to be like Steve. Hey, did you get that information I sent you in Discord?
When? Today or when you send something? Let me check. I can check. I didn't check it today.
The FDIC, do you remember the head of the FDIC said she quit?
Uh-huh.
And I got to wondering why. I was like, why would she quit? FDIC is the banking industry. And so she put out there that the Democrats are trying to force her hand on some kind of vote, and that she wasn't willing to go along with the program, so she quit. So now it's nothing but Democrats running the FDIC, and they're talking like Carlyle Group's coming in and buying all the smaller banks.
Yeah.
In order to do what? Make a bigger bank? And in order to get things passed, CBDCs, there's a possibility. Crypto is also a possibility. But if you do anything you do under God's eye and it's backhanded, it ain't gonna last.
Yeah. Hey man.
So that I said one more thing, man.
Go ahead.
Brando Commando, I talked to him this weekend, and he said that he is banned from the YouTube chat. So if you could look into that and maybe get him back in there, he was one of the good.
Okay, I didn't do it, so I gotta figure out how to do it. I'll reach out to him in the Discord and see if I can help him on my side, but I didn't do it. So, but
yeah, I understand. I just want to get somebody else in here, but I wanted to say that on his behalf. He's doing really well.
Appreciate you, man. Thanks for checking in with us. All right, good.
Bye.
Yeah, man. Okay, so Snap is going to be a whole nother angle. That's another portion of the population dependent upon Uncle Sam. So if they cut it off or put some restrictions on top of it, there's going to be more problems out there. But it is what it is. We knew where we're heading, where they're trying to take this. And so, as I mentioned, for those that are just plugging in, this will be the year of fiat currencies burning. And so I would just want to share this with you. Just this is what has been scripted. Now, whether or not they are controlled or not, we'll find out. But one thing you can be assured of, until there's some type of correction or market snap food that happens, the response will be more currency created. This thing right here will definitely fall off the cliff sometime soon, because they're going to need 8, 9, 10 trillion to try to prop this thing up. Therefore, less purchasing power. So get your weight up, people. But anyway, that's all I wrote for tonight. I appreciate everybody for hanging out with us on the first live stream of the year. Looking forward to being back tomorrow night. As always, if you enjoyed it, hit the thumbs up, show your love for the channel, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Be blessed, be safe. Peace. Visit Rethinking the Dollar throughout the day, your place for news on metals, gold, crypto, you name it. Scroll down to the bottom and you get a chance to see the daily videos, the recommended videos, and more importantly, the 5 reasons to unplug from the monetary matrix, with the first one being the awakening period. Step number 1, test your dollar IQ. 10 simple questions, average is 60%, followed up with the alternative perspective with the monetary reports. Consider becoming a supporter of the Rethinking the Dollar platform via Patreon. Get a chance to hang out off air, as well as additional information that can't be discussed on YouTube. Any support is helpful. With the crackdown on alternative media, the best thing to do is connect off air. Scroll down to the very bottom. You can find Rethinking the Dollar on Telegram, audio, Facebook, Twitter, Parler, you name it. The most important ones will be the email list, where you can get notified weekly, the Discord page, and make sure you connect on Telegram. And last, don't forget to visit the RTD store, where you can get merchandise as well as additional information and resources. And most importantly, scroll down to the bottom and get your weight up with all the limited edition rounds only available on the RTD store.